Hi guys, welcome to Computer JVS tutorial on C. In this tutorial we are going to learn about loops. First let me tell you what are loops. Loops sometimes we want to execute a particular statement several number of times so that we don't have to repeat the same statements again and again in the program. We can loop it back to the same place to execute it several times. For example, we can also do some operations within that. For example, if you want to print numbers from 1 to 100, you don't have to use a printf statement 100 times, that is printf1, printf2, printf3, like that. You don't have to do. Let's make it simple. You are having 4 loop controls in C language, that is for, while, do while, and nested loops. These 3 are kinds of loop, and this is performing a similar operation one within other. I'll explain it later. Coming to the for loop, first we have to write a main function so that we can execute something. We are going to print something a few number of times. Let me make it simple using a while loop. While, to switch or to execute a loop, we need a statement which specifies a condition until the loop runs. For example, if you want to print the numbers from 1 to 100, you need to have a condition for that, that is number up to 10. For that, what can we give? We can initialize a number to 1, using the while statement we have to specify a condition exactly within the brackets. We can print up to 100 within the printf statement. We are going to print an integer, so we are using %d for image specifier. In this place we have to specify the variable just to be printed. We can have a new line character after each execution of the loop of the statement. Let's go and run the statement, execute, compile and run. It is executed. It is running execute. It is running without stopping. We must find a bug in here which makes it run continuously. We just have one here. We are not doing anything to print the next number. We here have the condition I less than 100, which is always true because I is declared as 1. What we can do in here, we can declare or we can increment the I value of I, so that if it executes 1 here, it will increment this to 2, then the condition will be checked here. 2 is also less than 100, so it will be continuously running until we get the answer. That's the output of from 1 to 99. Why we don't have 100? You guessed it right. We should have a equal to sign here, then we should get the 100 right there. That's all with the while loop. We are going to do the same with the for loop. There is no special usage for statement, but it is a shorthand for doing all those things we have done in the while loop in a single statement. That is, the increment section, the initialization section, and the condition section will all come into the for loop at an instance. We are going to initialize this value to 0. We have to use the statement terminated statement here. It's a syntax. We are going to have two statement terminal, that is semicolons, inside a for loop braces. The second part is we have to set the condition for that 100, and we are going to do some operations with I, so we have to increase the I value to get it printed. And we are going to repeat the same here. That's done. You can see here there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 lines of code here, but we are just having 3 lines of code. Excluding the braces, we only have 2 lines here. Look at this syntax right here. We should have 2 statement terminators here. Within that, here you have statement initialization. Initialization should be here, and the next part would be the condition, and next part would be the operation section. Let's go and run this. What we are going to get, we are going to get 0 to 99 from this for loop, and this will give 0 to 99. We are not having a new line here, so that we have all those things in the same line. We got it right from 0 to 99 through the second loop. And you can have multiple instances of incrementation. For example, you can have another variable j here. You can do same initialization, and you can have multiple condition checks here, but not using comma. It is usually done using and or operators, which will be discussed soon. And you can have multiple increment statements here also. J++, you can print them here. %t. We are going to print 2 different statements, so we have to give j here. we are just having 0 0. We are just checking 0 only because I value only, because we are going to have I and j as same, because we are incrementing here, see, incrementing both of them to the same value here. Let's go and compile. The both statements will be executing, giving two answers, because I value 10, then again j value 10, I value 11 and the j value 11. So far we have seen for loop and while loop. Considering another type, which is do while. It's slightly different from the while loop, that for executing this while statement, it first checks the condition and then execute the statements. But do statement first execute the statement, then checks for the condition. This is pre-checked operation. This is post-checked. Let's have a look at this syntax. You can, as usual, you can have something printed blah blah blah, like right there, and at the end of the braces you have to specify the condition. J less than 200. Within this statement we have to increment j to get the right answer. Likewise, we have given a wrong condition here. We have to be careful about giving wrong conditions in the looping statements, because it will never end when we give a wrong condition. It is really dangerous for us. We have to end it with the statement terminator, because the loop ends here. We have to specify it. If you miss this semicolon, then the compiler will throw an error. Let's go and compile. We are printing this 100 times, because from this loop the j value will be 100, and here we are printing it 100 times from 101 till 199. And here's the end. We have seen all the 3 loops here today, and we are going to see what is nested loop. A loop within another loop is usually called nested loop. For example, we can get the number printed 3 times. We can have for within while within for. It can cost its loop types. We don't have to care about that. It's just loop. We can have it nested. We'll be using it in some advanced programs like that. That's the hint. You have to be very careful about the conditions which we give to looping statements, because it will never end sometimes. For example, if you are not specifying initialization or anything in here, then it is going to execute a number of times without actually caring about anything. This is an example of infinite running loop. It will never end. it will just execute the same for a number of times. If we are going to print hello here, have a new line character. As usual, we have to end it with the statement terminator. Let's go on compile. Here you can see the loop is running continuously as well as infinitely, because it has no condition, so it will run infinitely. So we have to be careful when doing some operations with loops. As we have seen all loops and also nested loops. That's the end. Thank you for watching, guys.